I think the most frustrating things happen during the first 2 or 3 meetings with a particular student, and you think you're making progress, and the student understands what you're looking for, and you understand the student. The student sits through the lesson and says, yes, I understand, I understand. And you come back to the next session a few days later, and the student looks at you totally blank.
Well, they realize, too, if they're a good tutor, that if they show you something, they're going to have to show you maybe 15 times again before you start catching on, or even more to some people. Because just because they show you something, it doesn't mean that you're going to remember it and know it. It doesn't come that easy. It takes a great deal of time, and it takes a great deal of time on their efforts.
It took my daughter 2 weeks to teach me how to read the 23rd Psalm, and it took my father try to teach me the Lord's Prayer in 18 years, and it didn't work. So to me, it depended on the person that was doing the teaching.
Even today, with Anne and Eleanor, I worked together, and Anne brought a little story that she had written in class, and she asked Anne, can you read this? And Anne said, and Eleanor said, well, yeah, I'll read it. And she read the first sentence, and then the second sentence, and both of them were like so joyous, you know, and oh, we read that, and you know, it was just, you could just see it on their faces, all the delight it gave them to be able to read this simple story.
I want to learn how to read, and because I have a sick husband, and sooner or later I'm going to have to do all of this here. Like write out checks, which now I can write out a check. I learned it in the last few months.
How much longer do you think you'll keep studying?
Well, until I can function as a normal person, so I don't have to scheme or think of ways of how to do things what's common. Because my goal is to, at least by the first of the year, the middle of the year, be able to fill out an application. I can just about get it down. It's just a few things I have to get done.
What you really find out is how uneducated you really are when you start opening books. You really don't know this until you open a book, because you can't picture it, because you brush your mind away so much from this one thing you want it, but you're afraid of it. And it's like a disease. You're afraid of this certain thing, and you're afraid to tackle it.
Having my own company now, Rich Productions, I do want to grow and want to get bigger, and I do want to get into a higher income bracket as well, and be comfortable and not have to always fear that I'm going to be discovered here or discovered there, or I'm not going to be able to succeed.
When you say discovered, what do you mean?
Being discovered as a person who cannot read.
At that time, I didn't know how to read a good book, but now I got the swing of it. So it's good. And words that I stumbled up on, it's hard for me to pronounce it and spell too. So I leave it on the side and put it on a piece of paper for my tutor.
Mm-hmm. You say read a good book. What?
Okay, a good novel. Like, for instance, I read one good novel about slavery. Okay.
What was it called? Do you remember?
Freedom. The Other Side of Freedom.